Good afternoon, everyone. With regards to tomorrow's game, it's a big match for the entire country, for the entire Kazakhstan, for not just for our club, not just for our city, for all the fans in our country. We are very pleased that the Champions League game has arrived to our city. It's a big day for us, so we are looking forward to this day, to the match day, and we hope to see the full stands, the full stadium, full house, and we will do our best to play as best as possible to make our fans happy, and to all our supporters, make them happy. And now let's give the floor to the captain. Good afternoon, everyone. For us, tomorrow's game is a very important game because in this tournament, in this competition, Champions League, every game is important. I think so. And our preparations for these games are very serious at the high level. We take this game very seriously. So, dear colleagues, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hands. Make sure that first you have the microphone. Good afternoon. Let me ask the question to the captain. What does Champions League anthem mean to you? Hello, everyone. For me, the Champions League anthem is my childhood dream. It's what I've dreamt of since I was a child. And tomorrow, the entire Kazakhstan will have a chance to listen, to hear this anthem being played in Almaty Stadium. And I think it's a dream come true for everyone, for all the supporters in Kazakhstan. Good afternoon. The question to the manager. The squad problems, the squad issues that are well known, how are you going to manage the situations? Are you going to use the substitute players? So my question is about the squad issues that the team is facing. Yes, unfortunately, we do have some problems with regards to our squad. Some of our players will not be able to play tomorrow, which is an unfortunate situation for us. But still, we hope that those who will play instead of those players, they will be able to use their chance to demonstrate themselves, to perform, and I just can tell you that all the players that will feature in tomorrow's game, they will use this chance, this opportunity, and will play to the best of their abilities. Dear colleagues, please make sure that you have a microphone. Question to the manager. With regards to the goalkeeper Zarutsky, there was information that he sidelined it until the end of the season. Is it true? No, it's not until the end of the season. He has some issues, an injury, but the doctors told me that it shouldn't take more than a month to recover. So he should be fine within a month or so. Question to the manager. The fact that Scottish teams have never won a game in Kazakhstan, played in Kazakhstan, is it a reason for optimism for you? Well, this story or this history that maybe Scottish teams that came to Kazakhstan in the past and they didn't win, it's all past, it's all history, but we shouldn't be looking backwards to the history, Whatever was in the past, it happened in the past. So tomorrow is going to be a different game, it's going to be different players, different match. Everyone will have their own task to perform. I personally, and we as a club, as a football club, we don't really pay that much attention to this fact, to this history, to this background, because we all understand that tomorrow's game is going to be decided tomorrow on the pitch. So whatever happened in the past doesn't really matter. So we are totally focused on tomorrow's game. And we are not looking backwards to the history. We are not looking at the results of the previous matches. Question to the manager. Good luck with the tomorrow's match. Yerkin Topalov played a very good match in the first leg. The fans really enjoyed his performance. What do you think will be his role in tomorrow's game? Yerkin Topalov, a player, a FC Karat player. Did you enjoy just one game that he played, the first leg game in Glasgow? Well, I don't think that you should evaluate a player based on the performance of just one match. You should look, in general, comprehensively, how the player performs throughout a certain period of time. So you can tell that the recent games, maybe even more specifically, the games that we played in Europe, he has played really well. We all have noticed that, but I cannot just highlight his performance based on just one single game. What I can say as a manager, he does what we want him to do. He performs the way we want him to perform. So there is no surprise in his performance for us. I mean, he does that. He does whatever we want him to do, whatever we demand him to do, and that's the reason why we actually signed him to our club as a player. Celtic is a top club. It's a high-level team. It's a very well-respected team. Every player in the Celtic squad, it's no secret to anyone that just one player can be worth as the entire squad in our club. So any Celtic player is a dangerous player for us. We know that they have very good players. Of course, the attacking lineup, the attacking players are very dangerous players, and also the midfielders, the midfield line are very good players. And I cannot just single out one particular player. I think that we should be worried, concerned about every player, about the entire squad. So we shouldn't be focusing or concentrating on one particular player. We won't be doing that tomorrow. We will try to pay, attention and play as well as possible tomorrow. So we know that any Celtic player can pose a danger for us tomorrow. So for us, all Celtic players are important and dangerous. I don't think that way. I think that Celtic players, maybe they slightly underestimated us in the first leg game in Glasgow, but in the second leg, in tomorrow's match, they will be more serious, they will have different motivation. So maybe there is a little bit of negative, atmosphere around the FC Celtic. based on the first leg result, but we all know how good Celtic players are, and I'm sure that they know how to handle the situation like that. They know how to handle the pressure, and I'm sure they understand very well that everything is going to be decided on the pitch tomorrow. So it all depends on them, and we think the same way. We think that it all depends on us, on our abilities, on our performance. But I don't think there is, bigger pressure on Celtic than on our club, and I don't think that they are too much worried. The only goal that they probably have is just to beat us and qualify to the group stage. But of course, our goal and our task is not to make it happen, to do everything we can. If there are any further questions for the player, please. Speaking in general about the season, to be honest, probably nobody expected you to go as far as possible in this competition, and you as a team captain, as a player who's been playing here for so long. What is your secret? What is your recipe? How did you manage to reach so far in this competition? And what was the work that you put into, what was the growth? Thank you for your question. I think that we as a team, we are very united. We have unity in our team, in our squad. We have a very good atmosphere in our team. And I think that is the reason why we have been able to show such good results. We play calm at this very far stage. And one more question to the manager with regards to the player Dastan Sadybekov. It was clear that he was a bit nervous in the first leg match. How does he feel now? And we saw that you used two players on the flank, player named Topalov and Murinsky. Is there a possibility that you'll have the same game plan for the tomorrow game? Speaking of Dastan Sadybekov, he was nervous in the first leg. And according to the information that I have, he's not been talking to anyone or communicating for 2 days. He understands the situation very well, and we try to support him as much as possible as a club, as a team. But this is life, This is the experience that he has to go through. He is a young lad. He's a young player, and different situations may happen in life. But I think that this is going to be, a good teaching experience for him that should make him stronger as a person, as a player. We all see that he's getting stronger from game to game. But what can you do? If this happened, it happened. There's nothing you can undo about it or change. So we just continue to move forward. And we told him that nothing is going to, that life continues and you should continue to move forward. And speaking of the second part of your question, yes, we have different options to use in the game. The game will demonstrate, which option we will use. So we'll, of course, look at how the players feel before the game. And also question about the goalkeeper. It's going to be probably Urazbakhtin who will start the game. He has the penalty shootout experience against his current club, against FC Kairat, when he demonstrated himself from the best side. Can you say that Kairat is ready for the penalty shootout if the match ends in a draw and goes to the penalty shootout? Of course, it's clear that if you ask any manager, any club manager, if you ask if they're ready, the manager will give you the same answer. Yes, we are ready. But whether it's true or not, only the game tomorrow will demonstrate. Not just this situation, but any other situation that may happen throughout the match. We will try to react, to respond to any situation on the pitch accordingly. We'll try to be ready depending on how the game develops. We'll only see that tomorrow. Anim? Rafael? last match, the Sadybekov ran for a very long distance. Only McGregor ran more than him, and he was the second player on the pitch who ran the most. And because of his disqualification for tomorrow's match, can we uh, can we expect that the lineup or the game plan will change? You can expect whatever you want to expect. Yes, the numbers are important, especially at the stage where we are at the moment. The numbers are important. But of course, the actions on the pitch are also important. But like I said before, Dastan, the fact that he's not going to be able to play tomorrow is a loss for us. But of course, like I said before, the other players that will play tomorrow, that will have a chance, the other player that will replace him tomorrow, it will be a good opportunity for them to demonstrate their abilities. So we'll see. So I have a question for the manager. The last two matches against Slovan and first leg against Celtic, when I watched the game, I didn't recognize your team. And I have a suspicion that during the preparation for the match, maybe you had a chance to the way the team played changed a lot. And my question is, why we cannot see the same level of performance or game in domestic league, in Kazakhstan league, the same level of football that you demonstrate in Europe, in Champions League? Thank you for your question. I think that the question, or not the question, but the answer to your question is not that the fact that we changed, something in the team or in the way we play. No, it's just the status. The status of the match, of course, is completely different. When you play in Champions League, it's completely different status, completely different level. So, of course, all the players, all the squad, the coaching staff, everyone in the team, we all, felt that it's a different match because we all want to play, in Champions League, want to progress to the group stage. So, of course, that's the reason why, maybe the performance was different in Champions League than in domestic league. And we are, very united as a team, as a squad, because we have the same goal in front of us, and it's not the first time I actually hear a feedback like this, about the microclimate in our squad. This is what we've always wanted to see in our squad, and thanks God. The matches that we won, they gave us more confidence because when you play in Champions League, it gives you a lot of confidence, it gives you a reason to grow, and maybe that was our reaction. But I don't think that we have demonstrated something extraordinary. We haven't done anything special or different. We just continue to work the same way. We always work, all the players, all the coaching staff, and all just the staff members in our club. Everyone did their job the way we usually do. There wasn't many shots made by your team. So very few shots or attempts on goal. So you take the ball, you go on the opponent's part of the pitch. I think the only player named Gramika, he's the only one who has the courage to take a shot at the goal. But maybe we should expect the same from other players of your team, because Celtic has very tall, very physically strong players. So it may be difficult, So what happened to the team? Why the team tries so few shots at the opponent's goal. So in fact, not everything. So in fact, there are actual things that you don't like, because just in your previous statement question, you said you didn't recognize the team's game. So my last question. Are you happy with the level of support you get from the fans? Yes, of course. I always say this after every game, after every match. It's our 12th player, so we look forward to the big support. What would you like to see at tomorrow's game? The fan support, maybe something else? I would like to be able to pass through the FC Celtic and, play in the group stage. Good afternoon. First question. In the first leg, what can you say about the Celtic performance? Did you expect the game that they demonstrated? Maybe something was surprising to you in their game? Well, to be honest, there's nothing surprising to us, because, like I said before, Celtic is a top team. It's a very good team. Just when you enter their stadium, the Celtic Park, you just see the atmosphere, you see this big, beautiful stadium. And when you go on transfer market website, you see the quality and the price of their players. But maybe you expected them to play better team in the first leg? Maybe you expected that they would play better than they actually did in the first leg? It's not very clear to me. It's actually the very first time that our teams played against each other, last weekend. Well, I can tell you that we were more concerned about our team, about our performance. In terms of psychology, in terms of mentality, the goal that was scored and ruled out due to the offside, how did it impact you in terms of, the team psychology? Was there any impact on your team performance after the goal was disallowed due to offside? Well, of course. Any good, actions we took, like taking a shot on goal or the goal that was disallowed due to offside, we think it's a positive development, and of course it has an impact, it has an influence, on your confidence. It gives it an additional confidence, because it shows that we can score a goal against such a good team, and it's not just about scoring goals. We talk to our teams, to our players very often. So we are not just happy with the goals that you score, but just any good action, any good tackle or good assist or good pass, or fighting for the ball. All these micro actions in the game, you can seek something positive, that will give you extra confidence. So of course, confidence is a big puzzle that is made up of small elements, such as this small micro episode in the game. And also, one more question to our team captain. We talk about Dastan Sadybekov. What did you tell to the team as a team captain, you as a captain and as a squad? Of course, after the last game, Dastan was disappointed that he was booked, that he received a yellow card and will miss the next game, second leg game. And as a captain, I told him, even if you cannot play, if you are unable to play in the second leg, just be sure that we as a team will put all our efforts. Dear colleagues, thank you everyone for your questions.